Our third performance is the Vagina Monologues, presented by Women's Initiative and V-Day AU. The show consists of monologues written by Eve Ensler that speak to the complex relationships women have with their bodies.
I bet you're worried.
We were worried.
We were worried about vaginas.
We were worried about what we think of vaginas, and even more worried that we don't think about them.
We were worried about our own vaginas. They needed a context, a community, a culture of vaginas. There's so much darkness and secrecy surrounding them, it's like the Bermuda Triangle. Nobody ever reports back from there.
In the first place, it's not so easy to even find your vagina. Women go weeks, months, sometimes years without looking at it. A high-powered businesswoman was interviewed, and she said she was too busy. She didn't have the time. Looking at your vagina, she said, is a full day's work. You have to get down there on your back with a mirror that's standing on its own.
Full length preferred.
You've got to be in the perfect position with the perfect light, which is then somehow shadowed by the mirror and the angle you're at. You get all twisted up. You're arcing your head up, twisting your back. It's exhausting. She said she didn't have time for that. She was too busy.
So, there were vagina interviews, which became vagina monologues.
Over 200 women were interviewed. Older women, younger women, lesbians, married women, single women, college professors, corporate professionals, actors, sex workers, African American women, Asian American women, Native American women, Hispanic women, Caucasian women, Jewish women.
Okay, at first, they were reluctant to talk. They were a little shy. But once you got them going, you couldn't stop them.
Secretly, women love to talk about their vaginas. Mostly because no one's ever asked them about it before.
Let's just start with the word vagina. Vagina. It sounds like an infection at best, maybe a medical instrument. Hurry, nurse, bring me the vagina. 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 Nope, it doesn't matter how many times you say it. It never sounds like a word you want to say. It's a totally ridiculous, completely unsexy word. If you use it during sex, darling, would you stroke my vagina? You kill the act right there.
We were worried about vaginas, what we call them and what we don't call them.
In Great Neck, they call it a pussy cat. A woman there told us that her mother used to tell her, "Now, dear, don't wear panties under your pajamas. You need to air out your pussy cat."
In Westchester, they call it a pookie.
In New Jersey, a twat.
There's a powder box, a peachy, a punani, a poopy, a peepee, a poolie, a penis flytrap?
Toady, Dee-dee, Nishi, Dignity, Monkey Box.
Coochie snurcher, cooter, the other belly button, honey boo-boo?
V.A., wee-wee, horse spot, nappy dugout.
Mongo, mookie, a pajama, a fanny boo, a marshmallow?
Ghoulie, tamale, totita, Connie.
A Mimi in Miami.
A split niche in Philadelphia.
A Schmendy in the Bronx.
And a wonk at AU. We were worried about vaginas.
Some monologues are based on one woman's story. Some monologues are based on many women's stories surrounding the same theme. And a few times, a good idea became an outrageous one. This monologue is based on one woman's story, although the subject came up in every interview and was often fraught. The subject being
hair. You cannot love a vagina unless you love hair. Most people do not love hair. My first and only husband hated hair. He said it was cluttered and dirty. He made me shave my vagina. When we made love, it felt kind of like a beard must feel. Good to rub, but painful. It felt like a mosquito bite. It felt like it was on fire and there were screaming red bumps. I refused to shave it again. Then my husband had an affair. When we went to marital therapy, he said he screwed around because I wouldn't please him sexually. I wouldn't shave my vagina. The therapist had a Russian accent and she gasped between phrases to show her empathy towards me. She asked me why I didn't want to please my husband. I told her I thought it was weird. I felt little with my hair gone down there, and I couldn't help but speak in a baby voice, and it got irritated, and even calamine lotion wouldn't help it. She told me marriage is a compromise. I asked her if shaving my vagina would stop him from screwing around. I asked her if she had other cases like this. She told me questions diluted the process. I was ready. I needed to jump in. She was sure it was a good beginning. Then, when we got home, he got to shave my vagina. It was like a little therapy bonus prize. So he clipped it a few times, and there was a little blood in the bathtub, and he didn't even notice because he was so happy shaving me. Then, when my husband was pressing up against me, I could feel his spiky sharpness sticking into me. There was no protection, there was no fluff. It was then I realized that hair is there for a reason. It is the leaf around the flower, it is the lawn around the home. You have to love hair to love the vagina. You can't just pick the parts that you want. And besides, my husband never stops screwing around.
My short skirt is not an invitation, a provocation, an indication that I want it, or give it, or that I hook. My short skirt is not begging for it. It does not want you to rip it off me or pull it down. My short skirt is not a legal reason for raping me. Although it has been before, it won't hold up in the new court. My short skirt, believe it or not, has nothing to do with you. My short skirt is about discovering the power of my lower calves, about cool autumn air traveling up my inner thighs, about allowing everything I see or pass or feel to live inside. My short skirt is not proof that I am stupid or undecided or a malleable little girl. My short skirt is my defiance. I will not let you make me afraid. My short skirt is not showing off. This is who I am before you made me cover it up or tone it down. Get used to it, because my short skirt is happiness. I can feel myself on the ground. I am here. I am hot.
There you are.
My short skirt is a liberation flag in the women's army. I declare these streets, any streets, my vagina's country.
Our stories only exist inside our heads, inside our ravaged bodies, inside a time and space of war and emptiness.
There is no paper trail, nothing official on the books, only conscience, only this.
What we were promised.
And I would save my father if I went with them.
That I would find a job.
That I would serve my country.
That they would kill me if I didn't go.
That it was better there.
What we found.
No mountains, no trees.
No water.
Yellow sand, a desert.
A warehouse full of tears.
Thousands of worried girls.
My braid cut against my will.
No time to wear panties.
What we were forced to do.
Change our names.
Wear one-piece dresses with a button that opened easily.
50 Japanese soldiers a day.
Sometimes there would be a whole ship full of them. Strange barbaric things.
Do it even when we bleed.
Do it young before we started bleeding.
Some wouldn't take off their clothes. They just took out their penis.
So many men I couldn't walk.
I couldn't stretch my legs.
I couldn't bend.
I couldn't!
What they did to us over and over.
Cursed.
Spanked.
Twisted.
Tore bloody inside out.
Sterilized.
Drugged.
Slapped.
Punched.
What we saw.
A girl drinking chemicals in the bathroom.
A girl killed by a bomb.
A girl beaten with a rifle over and over and over.
A girl running head first into a wall.
A girl's malnourished body. Dumped in the river to drown.
What we weren't allowed to do.
Move around.
Go to the doctor.
Use a condom.
Run away.
Keep my baby.
Ask him to
tuberculosis,
Heart disease.
Nervous breakdown.
hypochondria,
What we are fed,
Rice.
miso soup,
Turnip pickle.
Rice.
miso soup,
turnip pickle,
Rice. Rice. Rice.
what we became,
Ruined.
tools,
Infertile.
holes,
bloody,
Meat.
Exiled.
silence,
Alone.
what we were left with,
Nothing.
a shocked father who never recovered and died,
no wages,
Scars.
hatred of men,
No children.
no house,
The space where a uterus once was.
booze,
Smoking.
Guilt.
shame,
What we got called.
Eon food. Comfort women.
shugyofu, women of indecent occupation,
what we felt,
My chest still trembles.
What got taken?
the springtime,
My life.
what we are,
74,
79.
84,
93.
blind,
Slow.
ready,
Outside the Japanese embassy every Wednesday.
No longer afraid.
what we want,
Now.
soon,
Before we're gone and our stories leave this world, leave our heads.
Japanese government, say it,
Please.
We are sorry, comfort women. Say it to me.
we are sorry, to me,
we are sorry, to me,
To me.
Say it.
say sorry, say we are sorry,
Say me. See me.
Say it! Sorry!
This could have been anywhere and was.
Mexico City,
Steubenville, Ohio. Manila. Delhi. Manhattan.
Nighttime men waiting like wolves.
Drooling for prey behind that single dimly tainted door.
Paying nothing, or dollars, or euros,
rupees or pesos to have her,
enter her, devour her, and throw away her bones.
This could have been anyone. And was a Buddhist nun on a bus trying to stay dry for the night.
A woman leader speaking out against her repressive government.
A young woman traveling with her girlfriend.
One lost her voice.
The other her following.
The last one, her life. This could have been anywhere and was.
Pink wooden crosses.
A stack of stone.
Red wilting carnations.
Empty chairs were square.
Ribbons flying in a sultry wind.
I asked Anna, Nihat, Kamla, Monique, Tanisha, Emily, why? Why?
Porque eran mujeres.
Because they were women.
Because they were women.
This could have been anywhere. And was where she was fired for being too beautiful.
Fined for drinking after she was raped. A serious offer to marry her rapist.
got told it was legitimate, but not forcible,
This could have happened anywhere